Yo, what up? It's Benjamin D'Souza here, back with another classic. And I just want to give a brief recap on the Game Changer 00100 broadcast that he did about the definition of simping. There's a couple things on there that I just want to touch on. First off, for the brothers talking about, what good is a bitch if not just a fuck? How I view it, man, a wife, a wife, quality wife type of woman is a prized possession, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a co-pilot, basically. You the captain and you have a co-pilot. That shit is essential, man. You know? That's an extra set of eyes, that's an extra set of ears. If it's orderly. You know what I mean? Like if that shit's in order, then, you know, it's worth its weight in gold. Now, if you have an alleged wife who wants to compete with you for supremacy, then that is a detriment, most definitely. And a lot of these BAWs today, they are reared, trained, and programmed to be direct competitors to us brothers. So I can see why brothers would just go to the simple, what is she good for? Only thing she's good for is fucking. I get that, but you know, that's my thoughts on that. And I'm in total agreement with MOT about the tricking. You know, niggas saying, you lame or you simping if you tricking. You know, if you don't put your rap down and let her feel your masculine energy and just get the pussy off the strength, then you lame. Bruh, you not just getting the pussy off the strength, man. Like one of the brothers on the podcast said, man, he was that type of brother who was spending an exorbitant amount of money on his attire and his presentation just to go to the club to get a chance to holler at bitches, man. You know, time is money, man. You feel me? My grandfather, he came and spent the weekend with us. It's like late 90s. I think I was in middle school at the time. And he spent the weekend with us, and I helped him clean out the gutters, and he did some things around the house or whatever. And we were talking, and he didn't directly tell me to get married or to find a wife, but he indirectly told me. He told me a story, and he didn't throw my grandmother under the bus because things didn't work out with him and her, but he kind of told me in a roundabout way that she had ran afoul in some manner. He took her back and told her don't do it again. She ran afoul again, so he had to go ahead and scoot, right? So he left Arkansas, went up to St. Louis, right? And he was saying, man, when I got to St. Louis, he was like, man, I can't be out here like this. He said, man, I got to get married. I got to get me a wife. And I said, why is that? He said, because when you factor in, I'm paraphrasing him, but this is what he said. He said, when you factor in all it takes just to live a nightlife, the money it takes to get the clothes, the drinks, and the party favors that you gotta buy and whatnot, and then let's say you gotta work the next day on top of that, and you so happen to miss a day of work because you was out late drinking and fucking with a bitch. He was like, man, you could have been out of $200, $300, $400, $500 just for a shot of pussy. And he was like, man, pussy ain't worth all that, man. My grandfather told me that back when I was like 13, 14 years old, man. So, I mean, when I got to my late 20s, I somewhat indulged in that whole lifestyle. I mean, because it's part of the culture. You know, you get fresh, you go to the club, you try to bag a bitch. You know, but when you factor in, man, all the time and money and effort that goes into getting a chick, even if you not directly just putting the money in her hand as a straight up, you know, one-to-one transaction for the pussy, nigga, you paying for it in other ways. And MOT was right. He was like, man, you paying for that pussy in time, man, because time is money, man. You feel me? So it's gonna cost you regardless. All these niggas out here talking about, man, they anti-tricking. Bruh, this pussy gonna cost you regardless. Like that dude off that episode of Martin. It may cost you a little. It may cost you a lot, but it will cost you. You know what I'm saying? So, and me, like I said, man, I'm about efficiency and effectiveness, man. Let's get to the shit. You know, it's a couple of chicks I'm talking to right now, but I chop it up with them via text at my leisure. You know what I'm saying? I don't take time out of my day to chop it up with them. You feel me? If there is time that I got to burn to shoot them a message or whatnot, you know, to make sure that I'm on their mind, then I do so. You know, but I'm all about efficiency. Like I said, hey, I'm down for the straight hand to hand. Shit, the money's on the dresser, bitch. You feel me? See your way out. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So, from a business perspective, man, shit, that's cost. Yeah, you want to look at the cost benefit analysis of the whole situation, man. Shit, that 40 to 75 bucks plus, you know, if you want to go out the way and get a little honeycomb hot out, get a little telly or a little sweet or whatever, shit, you can bump it up to a $150 package, make it a little 2-day deal. You feel me, or whatever. You know, a little telly, a little bottle, some condoms and shit. You know, and then after that, you ain't got to deal with her bullshit. Send her on her way. You know, you paying for the the access and the for not getting the drama afterwards. You know what I mean? It's like motherfuckers tell them, man, I pay them to leave. I'm not paying for the sex. I'm paying them to leave. You know. So, and yeah, game changer was right, man. We live in and he told the story about, you know, the wallet and whatnot, and how this culture, this Orient, and I've spoken about this in prior classics, that this culture in Blackistan that we live in, it is a finesse culture, man. It's a get over culture, you know. Everybody's trying to finesse everybody. Everybody trying to get over on somebody, man. And, you know, in a lot of culture, you know, if I'm not mistaken, it says in the Bible, it's like, you know, nobody's gonna be that mad at a man who steals to eat. You know what I'm saying? But if he gets caught, he does have to pay the penalty. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's in Proverbs. If I'm not mistaken, it's like, I get it. Like if you starving and you got to finesse to get your food, like you Aladdin, like, you know, in Alibaba or whatever, like you a street rat or whatever, and you got to finesse to get your food on a day-to-day basis. I get that. But what makes this shit despicable is that you got niggas finessing for pussy. You feel me? And you got bitches finessing for crumbs. You know. And Game Changer was right, man. This finesse culture that we live in is a direct result of poverty, man. You know, cause my father told me a story, man, growing up, and he grew up in real poverty, man. I'm talking about third world poverty. You feel me? just south of Tiger Bay in Georgetown, Guyana. If anybody knows about Tiger Bay, you know that's AKA don't fuck around part of town. But grew up on Charlotte Street, man. I think it was like 2306 Charlotte Street or whatever in Georgetown, if I'm not mistaken. But it's south of Tiger Bay. Anyway, he told me that, it was certain, certain things that he had to do growing up just to eat, man. You know? Like he had a neighbor who had some mango trees in their backyard. He jumped their fence at night, stole all their mangoes off their tree, went to the market the next day and sold the mangoes at the market that he stole from his neighbor's tree. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the finesse. He had the finesse to eat. That was a direct result of being impoverished. You feel me? Like he was telling me one time, him and he had a group of friends growing up, and they used to call themselves the Secret Seven, right? Because it was seven of them, right? A little boys club and shit, right? What they did was they went down to the river, the shallow end of the river, and they got machetes, and then they made like makeshift spears out of sticks and shit. And a manatee came through and was swimming up the river in the shallow end of the river. These boys are like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, and they killed a manatee. You know, field dressed his ass and divvied up the meat and took it home to their respective families and shit, right? Like, that's real shit, man. That's a result of poverty. Like, motherfuckers gotta do what they gotta do. You feel me? But black folks here, man, they think they gotta get over in every aspect, man. Every aspect. Even when they don't have to get over, they feel as if they gotta get over, you know? So it's like, if you tricking, then motherfuckers want to denigrate you because they figure you a mark and the chick is getting over on you. When that's not the case, bro, because you got the power. You know what I'm saying? You got the power. The customer's always right, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, you don't get the pussy if you don't break bread, but she don't get the money if she don't open her legs. So, you know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, she can't say shit to you. She can't say, where you going at this time of night afterwards. Like, bitch, I don't owe you shit. We you know, my account is paid up. You feel me? So, yeah, man, simping is not tricking, bro. Simping is not tricking. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. I'm out.